This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Broadwater Second Stage Theater for their presentation of the Meatball Chronicles. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Debrianna Mancini.
I loved you in Breaking Bad as Fran.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very blessed. A lot of people do.
Okay, and what did you do tonight?
Tonight I'm performing my solo show called the Meatball Chronicles during the Hollywood Fringe Festival.
So, question, why did you decide to write this piece anyway?
Well, I cook a lot. My family grew up cooking, and I realized at some point that everything I ever learned in life, I learned around a meal. And so I started to try and think, well, maybe I could cook on stage. And then I started writing the piece, and it sort of took on a life of its own. And I don't actually cook on stage. It's too logistically hard to do that. But I talk enough about food so people leave here and they're kind of hungry.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to go on a kind of a journey. Basically, it's my family's recipe for a meatball. Each of the components of the meatball has a story attached to it, and it really all comes together in the end, just like a meatball does, but it's got a lot of stories, a lot of family, a lot of love, a lot of struggle, and it's about finding myself through a meatball.
Yeah, I love this piece. Again, I've seen stories about one's life story. The ones I don't like are people who say, well, I met Dean Martin, and we sang drinks together, we had martinis, and they say nothing but that, the other famous people they've been. But I love the ones in which they start a self-reflection about the pain in their lives. Some things were actually quite shocking of what you said, because I never expect that from you, or you just expose that about the trauma in your childhood, and I thought it was wonderful.
Thank you. It's funny. It actually, the whole idea, it sort of came to me, this section of how it ended up being written was a friend of mine said to me, I have no idea why you cook. I don't know why you wouldn't have stopped. And for me, it's how I find my joy and how I found myself, and really made peace with all of the history that comes with being here as the first generation from an immigrant family.
I think it's also a way some people express love, or some people, because our parents are just as broken as we are. In fact, I once asked my mother when I was a real young kid, how am I going to be able to find a wife? You know what she told me? She told me, study hard, become a doctor, and buy a big house. And that's it. That's what she said. That's what she said.
Well, I would say learn how to cook a great meal. A friend of mine told me that he got his wife by learning how to cook two things really well, and he impressed her by cooking her dinner. So, yeah, I say that a lot of love and compassion and creativity and bringing people together happens around a meal.
But I also liked in the piece about self-reflection, because it's like, when we basically look at ourselves, it's like, who are we? Some people can hide themselves behind, like, good grades. As long as I get good grades, people will love me. Or as long as I can cook, people will love me. And we hide ourselves behind, but who are we? I mean, suppose I can't cook. Suppose I suddenly get, or say because I'm a great baseball player, people love me. Suppose I break my leg and I can't play baseball anymore. What am I going to do with the rest of my life? I mean, that's the only thing I can do. And again, that's the same thing that some people feel their cooking is. They think this is them, but it's not really them.
Yeah, it's really, a lot of the story is really about how I found myself and what I was hiding behind. And I had no idea that it was my cooking until I finally pieced it all together. Really just crying through a meal and going, what's wrong with me? And it finally came to me that this was all the pieces of my life coming together, and why I share it the way I do is because it's a healing thing for me to do, and a loving thing for me to do.
I also love the fact that now that you're saying, well, I do this because I can express myself. It's not because this is who I am. Because again, you communicate so much about how you actually found yourself, which is just a beautiful story of a person who had a somewhat abusive childhood, or a very traditional childhood, in which basically you weren't, you're only supposed to speak when spoken to, things like that.
Yeah.
And basically you discover yourself. So that's what I really loved about this piece. I thought it was really fantastic.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. I was hoping that I would write it in a way that it would cross all boundaries. It's not just about Italian people and Italian food. It's really, even though that's the center of it and the heartbeat of it, it's really about people and how we learn and grow and hopefully hopefully take the things that the adversities that are given to us and then make them into something beautiful.
I hear you're having a special event on Saturday also.
Yes, I'm holding a benefit. It's lunch and the show, and lunch will be served after the performance at Hunter and Charlie's, and it's a benefit for Project Angel Food because no one should go hungry, and so I decided to use my show to kind of help promote that idea that everyone should enjoy a solid, good meal, and we have the ability to do that here. So I'm really happy to be working with Project Angel Food, and Chef Hunter is going to prepare a fantastic meal. So if you want to come, use the discount code Project Angel Food to buy tickets to the show and the lunch, but you can also just come to see the show.
I love this piece. I thought it was fantastic. I loved your acting in it, and I love the story itself.
Thank you very much. I'm so glad you got to come.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
The Meatball Chronicles will be playing at Broadwater Second Stage Theater from June 2nd to the 13th. For more information, go to www.hollywoodfringe.org/projects/4847.